This movie looks at the process of panelization within Proteus. It is common practice to panelize both multiple copies of the same board and/or different printed circuit boards. To start the process, select the Generate Gerber Files option from the Output menu in Aries. If you haven't done so already, you'll be prompted to do a pre-production check for any errors. It is strongly recommended that you do these checks. The dialog box allows you to configure your output files for production. For panelization, however, the default Gerber X2 format is required. After generating the Gerber file, you are given the option to open the Gerber Viewer. Select OK to see the files in the Gerber Viewer tab. You cannot panelize a board whilst the project is open. A Proteus project is a representation of a single board, schematic, layout, etc., and a panel is clearly a representation of more than one board. We can now import the files we are going to be using, and it is important we select the panelization mode at the bottom of this screen. To generate the panels for the final board, draw a tag box around the current board and use the block copy function to place multiple copies for production. If you had additional circuit boards that you wanted to include on this panel, you can bring them in using the same open process for each one. If you've not already done so, you would now need to create a board edge for production. This can be achieved from either the Set Board properties in the Technology menu, or you can draw one yourself using the 2D graphics and board edge from the layer selector. This will now define the board size for the manufacturer. Once completed, you need to generate a final Gerber file for the manufacturer. You do this in the same way as earlier and name the work as suits your own requirements. It should be noted that you can add text and graphics to your panel as required in order to give your board an ID and manufacturing information. If you are panelizing large boards or boards that have multiple power planes, the resulting files can be quite large. However, because the files are ASCII in nature, you can use one of the many zip programs in order to reduce the file size before sending to the fab house.